Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a pastor, conference speaker, lecturer, and recording artist. She serves as the campus pastor of the Potter's House of North Dallas, and she has been a featured speaker at numerous conferences, including the internationally acclaimed MegaFest, and the first female speaker ever to speak at Manpower, the men's only conference. And she's here today to talk about her fantastic book, You Have It in You, Empowered to Do the Impossible, and also the Women That Are Loose conference, which kicks off in Atlanta on October 4th. Help me welcome Pastor Sheryl Brady to the show. How you doing, Pastor, and welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. I'm so glad to be here today.
Well, I'm just so happy to have you. I read the first chapter of your book. Let me see. I can't find too many words for it because it was everything that I was literally going through. And I'm telling you, I mean,
Wow.
now I see what God is doing, how God pulls out all kind of stuff, and you don't know what God has in you. Because 5 weeks ago, when the Lord was telling me to do a new project, I'm like, say what now? But wait.
I know the feeling. I really do.
But
that is so great.
Yeah, and you don't know what you have in you. Then when I finally stepped in it, I'm like, okay, I see what you were saying, but I didn't see what he saw. And when you likened it to Ruth, and how in Ruth didn't know that King David was there, didn't know that Jesus was also locked up inside of her, but you won't find out until you get into the will of God and you step out your comfort zone. See, I could preach on your book all day.
Yeah, you better preach. I think you must be a preacher. You go ahead.
I am. But I want to talk about your book, and what was the inspiration behind your book?
Well, it's actually the story of my life, and I've said it before so many times, but I all of a sudden, God began just waking one thing after another up inside of me that I had no idea was there. I was in my 30s. I was going in my 30s when I realized that there was a preacher in me. And as I was coming out of my 30s, going into my 40s, I realized that there was a pastor in there. And while I was in my 40s, then the conference circle began to open up for me, and I became a conference speaker. I became a television host, and then here I am in my 50s, and now there's an author that's really come out of me, and none of that was visible to me when I really made the decision to say yes to the Lord. None of that was there. I mean, it was there. It was in me all the while, but it was hidden in me. The Bible says we have this treasure in earthen vessels, and so it's just amazing to me that so much could be in somebody and you not know it's there.
Isn't that amazing? Because one thing I like that you said in your book was when you were talking with Bishop T.D. Jakes, and how he was talking about how every 10 years, how God does this shift in his life, and how you just began to talk about your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s. And those are like 10-year increments of what God was doing in your life. But you probably never noticed it until he probably mentioned just that cycle. And it is so true. Yeah. Because my youngest one just turned 10, and like I just said, and she turned 10 in July, and the Lord just spoke to me a new project, and I'm like, say what? Okay. So you never really realize. And I want to thank you so much for writing that book. And you have this special relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes. Can you tell us, how did that special relationship form?
Well, it's actually, I've been with him for about 20 years, and I was a woman that was hungry for God, and I got his tape, and that tells you how far back we go, a tape, and was so blessed. And he's a hostage negotiator. That's what he is. That's what a preacher that does their job really is, because they preach the word until the word looses you and sets you free. And that's the way his word came across to me. And just all along the way, I wanted to hear what he had to say. Actually, it was his voice that woke up that preacher that was in me. And I watched him preach, and I would be like, God, I think I can do that. I can do that. Now, really, seriously, who says that about Bishop Jakes? But it was like what he would call it is a preview to a coming attraction in my life. And so that's just how it kind of all began. We've been connected for all of these years. And I just love him. He's been a vital person in my life.
It's funny that you mentioned a preview of a coming attraction, because when Bishop Jakes preached that message at the Azusa conference, and also Woman Thou Art Loose back in 1993, I was there. when he preached
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and when I say I could barely walk out of the Maybe Center, when he had everybody wear white, and then when he preached
I know.
the preview of a coming attraction that Friday night, that message was so powerful. In our hotel room, it was 3:00 in the morning. Women were still hollering in the hallways. That message. And I was, and I was young, so we know that was back in 1993. So that was a long time ago. And I still love him, his ministry, and I see the impact his ministry has had on your life. So how did you guys end up connecting for you to even attend his church? Because we're building up a story because where you are and what's happening beginning tomorrow.
Well, actually, I was with, I was just happened to be in the city of Cleveland, and somebody said, okay, the person that you're talking about really enjoying his ministry is going to be here. So I went to that church, and I heard him preach that night. By the time he was finished, I was literally rolling in the floor, and I got to meet him that night, and God just connected us, and we kept running into each other on the road. People would have conferences. They'd invite me to sing. They'd invite him to preach, and we kind of met like that. And, destiny has a way of colliding, and it also has a way of drawing you like gravity. And so that's the way it was. We were just drawn to him, my husband, myself, and we moved to West Virginia. We served as elders in the church. When he moved to Dallas, we moved to Dallas with him. And then he released us to go back to the North Carolina area where we built a church for 11 years. And then, we came back to Dallas. He called me and said, will you just pray about coming home? And we did. And so we went back to Dallas, and we started the Potter's House North, which God is blessing, and it's crazy. And I'm telling you, right now in Atlanta, people are coming. I tweeted a few minutes ago, do you all hear what I'm hearing? Because it was like I could hear thunderous, a crowd of women, 25,000 women walking toward the Phillips Arena. And when I'm telling you something, the hotel hallways, like you just said a while ago, they are about to have that same experience, because when these things happen, these women get together, and he touches us intimately. And when he does that, we got to tell it. We can't hardly hold it. And so it's crazy here, but it's going to be awesome.
I look forward to it because I watched it last year streaming online, and I would definitely be watching it this year. So ladies, if you were not able to attend, go online and watch it. If you cannot make it to the Atlanta area, it is just as powerful because I watched you last year. Also, Cindy Trim, her book is right in front of me now, Commanding Your Morning. That's how I do my mornings.
Yeah.
Put my word in her book in the morning.
Awesome.
And so I just want to know, what can women expect beginning Thursday, October the 4th, beginning with Bishop T.D. Jakes? What can they experience the next 3 days?
It's going to be life-changing, and there are life-changing moments that we come to periodically along the journey. God will put us at a pivotal point, and I believe this happens to be one of those pivotal points. I hear the sound of an abundance of rain, and I believe that these women, whether you're on property, because we're already sold out, but let me tell your audience, you can go to WTAL.com, which is the acronym for WomanThouArtLoose.com, and you can stream all of the services. But just know, whether you're coming physically or you're coming on the stream, you can expect your life to be changed. I'm the fruit of that ministry. I know what it's like to sit in the audience. I know what it's like to stand on the stage. But I do know what it's also like to be radically changed because of this ministry. It's our 20th year anniversary. It's going to be powerful beginning on Thursday.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the show. And I want you to let people know where they can purchase your book. You Have It In You. Where can they purchase the book?
Yes. You can get it at iTunes, at Barnes & Noble. You can get it at Amazon.com. You can pretty much get it wherever, books are sold. I'm telling you, you have gifts in you. You have treasure in you. And, I don't want people, what this book will do, it gives people permission to dream again. So I just challenge you to look back in your heart, look back in your life, and know that no matter where you are right now in life, there's more in you than you think. So just go for it. Pick up the book, enjoy it, and let your life be changed. Let me straighten this out. WomanThouArtLoose.org, not .com. WomanThouArtLoose.org. That's where everybody can stream these services. So be powerful.
Thank you again so much, Pastor Brady, and we look forward to having you back on the show.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.